All right, just listen. Don't analyze. Don't agree. Don't argue. Because this conversation is not for your mind. It's for the place where something went quiet a long time ago. The ban on desire. Not fear, not doubt. A ban. That moment when a desire doesn't even have time to appear, and something inside already says, don't. Not now. That's unnecessary. Be realistic. And if you're thinking right now, this is not about me, I just don't know what I want, this is exactly about you. A ban on desire almost never feels like a problem. It feels like normality, like maturity, like common sense. And today, we're not going to push you to want more. We're not going to motivate you. We're not going to inspire you. We're going to gently remove what has been blocking your desires for years. Because desire is not something you need to create. It's something you need to stop suppressing. Here's the strange part. Most people think they have a problem with desire. In reality, they have a problem with permission. Desire is alive. It appears naturally. But if at some point in life desire became dangerous, the psyche made a very smart decision. Better not want at all. And this is important to hear. The ban on desire is not a flaw. It was once a form of survival. Let's go back to where it usually begins. Childhood. You don't need to remember a specific scene, just the feeling. You wanted something, and the response was irritation, fatigue, indifference. Or later. Not now. This is not the time. Or something even more subtle. No punishment, no shouting. But your desires created tension. You felt, because of me, it's hard. Because of me, it's uncomfortable. Because of me, there's a problem. And a child makes the only logical conclusion. If I want, I cause trouble. And if I cause trouble, I may lose love. This is the key moment. A child does not give up love. A child gives up desire. Not instantly. Not completely. They learn to want safely. A little. Modestly. Only what's approved. And everything else goes inside. Time passes. You grow up. But the ban remains. It no longer sounds like your parents' voices. It sounds like your own. Why do you need this? Be realistic. Others have it worse. It's not necessary. And the most dangerous part is this. You start calling it maturity. But let's be honest. A person without desire is not mature. They're disconnected. Maturity is not the absence of desire. Maturity is the ability to hold your desire without destroying yourself. Now there's something important to distinguish. There are people who truly need little. They're calm. They're content. And there are people who say, I don't need anything, while living in constant tension. Fatigue, irritation, emptiness. That's not peace. That's suppression. Carl Jung said something very simple. What we suppress does not disappear. It begins to control us from within. A suppressed desire turns into self-sabotage, apathy, envy, devaluing others. Because the energy didn't go anywhere, it just wasn't allowed out. So here's the real question. How do you remove the ban? Not break it, not fight it, not force yourself to want. Remove it. The first and most important step is to stop applying pressure. Any thought like, I should want more, only strengthens the ban. Because the psyche doesn't hear desire, it hears violence. Instead, we ask a different question. Not, what do I want? But, what am I not allowed to want? And here things may surface that you never allowed yourself to even think about. Not because they're wrong, but because they threatened the image that made you acceptable. Here's the rule. You don't need to act. You don't need to decide. You don't need to change your life. You only need one thing. Permission to know. To know without action. To know without consequences. Just to admit, yes, this exists in me. And something interesting happens. The ban begins to loosen. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but space appears. Neville Goddard said, consciousness is the only reality. But consciousness does not open through force. It opens through permission. When you stop saying, "I'm not allowed to want this," desire starts to change on its own. It becomes calmer, clearer, more grounded. There's one more layer that's rarely discussed. The ban on desire is often held in place by the fear of losing identity. If I allow myself to want, I will change. And if I change, I may not be accepted. But the truth is this: you are already not who you're trying to preserve. The ban is an attempt to freeze an old version of yourself. Desire is a signal of growth. And at the end, I want to say something simple. You don't need to remove the ban completely. You don't need a big step. A small one is enough. Notice the moment you say, "I'm not allowed to want this," and replace it with, "I'm allowed to feel this." No action, no plans, no promises. Just letting desire exist. If this video resonated, watch it again. Some things arrive on the second, or the third time. Subscribe to the channel. Anything is possible. Here, we don't teach you how to want. We give you permission to be alive. And remember, anything is possible.